The final balance. At first, nobody noticed when the lights flickered. In a city known for glowing towers, floating walkways, and soft streams of light running through the streets like rivers, a tiny flicker felt ordinary. The city of Lumina had always hummed with energy. It powered homes, gardens, schools, and skytrams, all drawn from a system older than memory itself. But then the flicker happened again, and again. By nightfall, the glow that once wrapped Lumina in warm colors dimmed to a pale shimmer. The sky paths slowed. The gardens stopped floating. Even the great beacon at the city center, once a pillar of steady light, began to pulse unevenly, like a heartbeat out of rhythm. Deep beneath the city, unseen by most, something far more important was happening. The energy streams were drifting. They had once flowed in perfect balance, thin ribbons of light moving through tunnels, towers, rivers, and sky bridges. Each stream carried a different kind of energy: motion, growth, warmth, knowledge, and calm. Together, they formed harmony. Now, they were converging. Chapter 1: The Call. In a quiet corner of Lumina, inside a small observatory overlooking the city, a young explorer stood watching the beacon through a circular glass window. The explorer had always felt something special about the city, not just its brightness, but its rhythm. Lumina felt alive, as if it listened. That night, as the beacon pulsed again, a faint hum echoed through the observatory floor. Symbols shimmered briefly across the walls, symbols that had not appeared in generations. The explorer stepped closer. As soon as their hand touched the central console, the room lit up. Lines of light burst from the floor, forming a floating map of the city. But this was no ordinary map. It showed the energy streams, and they were all moving toward one place: the heart chamber. Chapter 2: The Forgotten Truth. The heart chamber was not marked on any modern map. It existed below the oldest foundations of Lumina, sealed long ago when the city no longer needed it, or so everyone believed. Legends spoke of it only in whispers. It was said the heart chamber was built to hold balance itself. Not power, not control, balance. The explorer followed hidden lifts and ancient stairways, guided by glowing markers that appeared only when needed. Along the way, murals carved into stone revealed the city's origin. Long ago, the founders of Lumina learned a powerful lesson. Energy could not belong to one place, one person, or one purpose. When energy was forced or hoarded, it weakened. When shared, it grew. So they created the streams, and at the center, a final safeguard, a living puzzle. Chapter 3: The Convergence. At last, the explorer reached the heart chamber. It was vast and silent. The chamber stretched upward into darkness, its walls curved like the inside of a shell. At the center floated a massive structure made of interlocking rings of light, slowly rotating around a glowing core. Every energy stream in the city ended here, but instead of flowing smoothly, the streams collided, twisting, tangling, flashing with instability. The core flickered wildly, unable to decide how to distribute what it held. A low tone filled the chamber, not a warning, a question. The explorer stepped forward, and the rings slowed. Symbols appeared in the air, rearranging themselves into patterns that shifted again and again. This was the final balance, and it could not be solved by force. Chapter 4: The Puzzle of Choice. The first pattern showed scenes from the city: a tower drawing more energy than it needed, a garden left without enough light to grow, a school glowing brightly while nearby homes faded. The explorer realized the puzzle was not asking for strength or speed, it was asking for understanding. They reached out and gently rotated one of the rings.
The symbols changed, showing energy flowing evenly again. The core pulsed softly, responding. Encouraged, the explorer continued. Each ring represented a choice: give or take, share or keep, listen or command. When turned the wrong way, the chamber darkened. When aligned with care, the light steadied. Slowly, the explorer began to understand. Balance was not about making everything equal. It was about making everything connected. Chapter 5: The Test of Harmony. As the final ring hovered before the explorer, the chamber trembled. The energy stream surged, threatening to overwhelm the core entirely. A voice, not spoken but felt, echoed through the chamber. What will you protect? The explorer paused. Images flooded the air. the city's people, the floating gardens, the glowing sky bridges, the quiet corners where light was gentle instead of bright. The explorer placed both hands on the final ring. Instead of choosing one image, they aligned the ring so the images blended together. The chamber fell silent. Then, the core shone with a steady, brilliant glow. Chapter 6: The Restoration. The energy streams untangled themselves, flowing smoothly once more. Light traveled outward from the heart chamber, racing through tunnels, towers, rivers, and skies. Above ground, Lumina transformed. The beacon stabilized, shining brighter than ever, but not blinding. The gardens rose gracefully. The sky paths moved in perfect rhythm. Homes and schools glowed warmly, neither too dim nor too bright. People stepped outside, looking up in wonder. The city felt calm, whole, alive. Chapter 7: A City That Remembers. Back in the heart chamber, the rings slowly dissolved into light, leaving behind a single symbol hovering in the air, a reminder. The explorer understood. The final balance was never meant to be solved once and forgotten. It was meant to be remembered. Balance was not a machine, it was a choice. The explorer turned and began the journey back to the surface. As they climbed, the hidden paths sealed themselves again, waiting for the next time the city might forget. Chapter 8: The New Light. Days later, Lumina glowed with renewed energy, but something had changed. The city listened more closely. Energy flowed where it was needed most. Lights dimmed when rest was needed. Spaces brightened when creativity sparked. The explorer returned to the observatory, watching the city from above. The beacon pulsed once, soft and steady. Not a warning, a promise. As long as the balance was remembered, Lumina would shine. Not because of power, but because of harmony. The end.